Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. The rumors were inevitable. These rumors were inevitably going to happen. Daniele De Rossi, the Fredkins are considering a Daniele De Rossi return. And look, I anticipated this a few weeks ago before the international break. It's a rumor which was inevitably going to happen in a very bad moment, in a very tough moment. In the first difficulties, this rumor was the rumor which was going to happen. It was the rumor which was going to be launched by newspapers, by journalists. And here we are. International break is done. We lost a game against Inter, and in these next two games will probably mark Ivan Juric's future. And can this future see Daniele De Rossi back on the Roma bench? I've got a lot to say, as I always do. I like speaking. I like giving my opinion, and I think this topic, I have got so much to say. I've got so much to spill, because it's a topic which not only am I hoping for, and I'm going to pre-announce this now and I'm going to justify my reasoning in this live stream, but yeah, it makes me excited, and I will explain everything in this live stream. So if you're new here, all I ask you to do is subscribe to the channel, be a part of the community, hit the like on this video. 100 likes on this video would be great. Get your friends and families to like and subscribe as well. Follow Roma Theory TV on Instagram for daily Roma news, posts, stories and graphics. And let's get started. Right, the first thing which I'll say is, hello to everybody by the way. The first thing which I will say is, if Daniele has got any dignity, any elements of dignity in him, he needs to say no immediately, and he needs to turn he shouldn't even consider this. If Daniele has got dignity, which I know he has, but of course, when it comes to Roma, he is ready to devote his entire life, which is why I see this possible, which is why I see a De Rossi return very possible amongst the air circulating around Roma. If Daniele's got any dignity, he needs to say no, because Daniele does not deserve to be respected like this, because us Roma fans don't deserve to see our club legend be disrespected like this. And so this is the base argument of this situation. The base argument of this situation is exactly this. It's not easy for De Rossi to say no to Roma, because especially coming back after being stabbed in your heart means showing an imagery of a hero and consolidating that legend that you already are in and amongst this fan base for this team. But number two, it would be a second chance for him to prove everybody wrong. And if he does prove everybody wrong, his image of a club legend and his image of a hero will further be reinforced. But at the same time, if Daniele was to say no, then it's completely normal, because this is not how you treat people, because this is not how you treat club legends. And most importantly, he's got all the rights to say no to this. But of course, this is where I want to. When I want to share why I think this is possible. I think this still is possible for three different reasons. The number one reason is that Linus Suluku is not here anymore, and Linus Suluku was De Rossi's biggest enemy. So the CEO not being here and Lina not being here could push De Rossi coming back more than if Lina was still here. Number two, as I said before, he's devoted his life to this team and to these fans, and I do not think he will think about it twice. I know De Rossi said that it was his last time coming back. The day he was sacked, he was seen exiting Trigoria saying, "Unfortunately, I will not come back," and everything. But I think the emotions that this team has given to him, the amount of meaning that this team and us fans and this badge mean to him, in my vision of this world, De Rossi just cannot say no to Roma. And the third, which is the most important reason, is the fact that De Rossi is still under a contract. And this is the most important reason, and this is the reason where I want to bring much of the attention of this live stream to. A lot of people might go, De Rossi won't come back, De Rossi is not a weak human being, De Rossi shouldn't come back, De Rossi will not come back, De Rossi will say no to a potential return. And you might be absolutely right. If he's got dignity in him, he will say no. But De Rossi, and what people tend to forget, is that De Rossi is under a contract. And what a contract is he under, may I add. Remember that when the Fredkins extending his contract in April 2024, they agreed on a 3 million deal for each season, which means that De Rossi basically is on a contract for 10 million euros. 10 million euros. Add all of the taxes and stuff, it's probably going to be higher than 10 million euros. So he's under a contract. De Rossi is being paid by the Fredkins. De Rossi is not in a position to, number one, stop being paid, because if he says no, then they will come to a mutual agreement of ending the contract, and therefore he doesn't get the money anymore. But the third most important thing is he's under a contract. Roma want you back. They will apologize, because they will have to apologize. Lina isn't here anymore. Why would he say no to 10 million euros by coming back to Roma? So this is what I mean, and this is why I say that in my opinion, the possibility of seeing De Rossi back are very high. I personally think that if Juric loses on Thursday, he will get sacked. And even if Juric wins on Thursday but loses on Sunday, he's in a very, very risky position. And I said this yesterday in the live stream. What you need in this team right now to kind of just recuperate the loss of energy and the loss of momentum and the loss of passion and everything is somebody who connects with the fans. So if Juric leaves, you either go big immediately and try to convince a manager like Klopp or like Allegri and get them in immediately, which will not happen because no manager right now, number one, will take any team in the current state that Roma's in basically November, because by the time everything will get sorted out, it will be November. So no big manager will accept this team, any team, if Juric gets sacked. So which leaves you with two different options. You either go with Daniele De Rossi or you either go with Claudio Ranieri. However, you already paid Daniele De Rossi, so why would you choose Ranieri over De Rossi when it would clearly mean that you would have to pay both of them? I think this is very possible. And I want this to happen, and I will explain why. I will explain why I want this to happen in a second. What I will say is two things that happened today. This rumor got launched yesterday evening, and of course everybody started writing, opinionists started debating, reliable sources such as Il Corriere dello Sport and La Gazzetta dello Sport starting writing articles about it, which is secondary. But also, what happened this morning, according to some sources, it hasn't been confirmed, but some little sources say that Roma have denied this. Don't believe in this rumor of Roma having denied the rumors. If I were you, never in a million years believe in it. It might be true, it might be false. We will never know. But Roma, remember, I want to bring back to your attention the 17th of September, after that Genoa game, Roma had denied any forms of contacts for De Rossi's sacking, and the following day he got sacked. Roma, decision-making wise, communication wise, is such a catastrophe right now that they could say one thing one day and do the completely opposite thing the other day. So the fact that Roma denied this rumor apparently this morning means absolutely nothing, because they denied the Mourinho sackings and Mourinho got sacked the following day. They denied De Rossi being sacked and he got sacked the following day. Whatever Roma say right now, I don't believe in them anymore, because what the Fredkins have shown to me in the last 6 months is the opposite of credibility. So I'm not a fool, and I am not believing in any statement or any denial or anything that this club releases ever again. The chances that De Rossi comes back, in my opinion, I'm not a journalist, I'm an opinionist, I'm a content creator. My opinion, the chances of him coming back are very, very high. Not very, very high, high. It could happen, and I think it won't happen tomorrow morning, but it could happen on Monday, it could happen on Friday if you were to lose against Dynamo Kiev. Quickly answering to this question, then I'll go back to the other comments at the end of the stream, and then I'll give you my opinion as to why I want this to happen, and I'm praying for this to happen. Do you really think Juric will get sacked if we lose against Fiorentina? Well, before the Fiorentina game, we have a Dynamo Kiev game. I think we're going to win Thursday's game, because I am not even mentally prepared for what would happen if you don't beat Dynamo Kiev at home. But let's say we do win the Dynamo Kiev. I mean, if we lose the Dynamo Kiev game, I think he gets sacked, and I think he needs to get sacked, because if you lose a game against Elfsborg and then the following Europa League game you lose at home against Dynamo Kiev, it means that you need to be executed, as I said yesterday, not sacked. I am considering and taking in consideration the fact that we will win on Thursday, because I can only imagine 3 points on Thursday. If we win on Thursday but lose on Sunday against Fiorentina, we have the potential of going into November around the 13th to 14th position. That is not tolerable. So if we lose against Fiorentina, I think the environment will collapse. It's already at a low. If you lose another game, it's gonna get even lower. And I think if you lose against Fiorentina, the fans are gonna demand for Juric being sacked more than ever. Because it's such an important game, we need to give a sense of reaction to our performances, which we're not doing. So if you don't improve, you need to change. And I'm the first one to say that, again, the managers, you can blame managers, you can put managers under the bus, fully agree, it will not be a solution right now. But you've got a manager who cannot connect to the fan base, who is the definition of mediocre, and if this is the path that we continue, he needs to be sacked. And I'm the first one to say that the problem is deeper than just managers. But if this is the state of us, then he needs to get sacked. Right. Why do I want De Rossi back? Because a lot of people might ask, why do we want De Rossi back? De Rossi basically peaked in February, March, April last season, and then all of a sudden never won a game. And look, partially you're right. The statistics prove it. De Rossi struggled winning games and grinding points in this last period. After that Milan game in the Europa League, De Rossi also started going downhill. But why do I want this? The reason why I want De Rossi back is one simple reason. Because this fan base needs an electric shock. This fan base is completely and utterly emotionally deprived, emotionally depressed, and emotionally it's just switched off. And the only person who can get all of this fan base back together and ultimately aim big, because if we're this divided, if we protest in every game, we will not go anywhere, because us fans are the base of the results of the team. You need somebody who can get the energy back going, and it's only Daniele De Rossi who can do this. Adding on to this, if you bring De Rossi back, you would give in the demands of the players. The players want this manager back. The players are pushing to get De Rossi back as manager. So if you do bring De Rossi back, the players will give such an energetic shift on that football pitch that we really need. And it will ultimately bring us to an incredible run of results. I will say this now. De Rossi coming back is as equivalent as De Rossi being appointed in the first place in January. Do you remember that great period of games? That is what we need right now. We need confidence. We need a series of positive results. And if you bring De Rossi back, there will be such an energetic reaction from the players that this reaction will happen and we will be back in a honeymoon. Of course, it's also important to keep the honeymoon and make it a long-term honeymoon, but we need reaction on the pitch to get everything back going. We need the word unity back going, and De Rossi is the only one right now who can get this sorted. Second of all, if you appoint De Rossi on the behalf of the owners, you would save a bit of your face. As much as it's a dick move, as much as it's a completely terrible move to even consider appointing him back, the Fredkins have regretted sacking De Rossi in the first place. So getting De Rossi back, as much as it looks like, and will be, it's not more than just a look, it will be a terrible act of betrayal and then all of a sudden switching ideas and wanting you back. It will look bad. The image of appointing De Rossi back after stabbing him in the back will look bad. But if the owners do this, they will save a little bit of their face because they will be giving in the demands of the fan base. However, with De Rossi back, the protests are going to continue even more in a better way though. Because instead of deserting the stadium, protesting the first 15 minutes, not singing the anthem, with De Rossi, it's kind of like you got a soldier back in your war. Now let's fight this war together with our soldier that we got back against the board. So De Rossi coming back is also a way to reinforce the position that you're in as fan base. I won against your stupid decision makings. You know, I won against you trying to fool me around. The values of Romanism won. Let's unite together. Let's go to Bilbao. Let's try get top 4. Let's do all of that together. Let's transfuse together into that Roman air and let's show the Fredkins what they did initially and, you know, something that we will not forgive them, and let's play together. So it would be a good scene, you know. It would be a good scene also because, as I just said, it will reinforce this crevice between the fans and the board, but in a good way, because you would make yourself loud instead of just be quiet and deserting the stadium. It would be a proper protest, okay? And then the last thing which I'll say as to why I want De Rossi back is because this is a project that has been built around Daniele De Rossi and his path along the 3 years. And we decided to sack him after 3 games, which again, I say these words and the more I look at these words and just repeat these words of just De Rossi being sacked after 3 games is blood to my eyes. The fact that De Rossi was sacked after 3 games still makes me want to throw up. This is a 3-year project that we started with Daniele De Rossi and for Daniele De Rossi. This is a team, as much as a lot of the decisions in the transfer window, in my opinion, were not even considered with De Rossi. This is a team that is made to play for Daniele De Rossi, not Ivan Juric, not X, not Y. This is a team that has been built for Daniele De Rossi. This is a team that has been built for Daniele De Rossi's formations, even though a lot of the positions are still shit and haven't been covered in the transfer window. Which is why the solution to Roma right now and the solution to this terrible chaos, crisis, catastrophe, whatever you want to call it, at Roma right now is bringing Daniele De Rossi back on the bench. It looks bad. It looks like a terrible image to do, and I'm the first one to say, if De Rossi doesn't want to come back, De Rossi shouldn't come back. But the only way we move forward, try to save the season, but saving the season on a good note, not just saving the season, oh yeah, let's save the season, we've thrown the season away. Let's just get 7th in the Conference League and save it. No, let's save the season, yes, but let's also try to give a direction to this season. And the only way we aim at Bilbao, the only way we even try to get Europa League places, Champions League places, I'm not even speaking about, is getting this man back on the bench. Because it would give such an emotional and energetic pump, push to the fans, to the environment, that it will lead to positive results. It would lead to a reaction of wanting to change things. And most importantly, us fans right now are, unfortunately, are being guided by somebody who cannot and is failing to connect with this fan base, with this team. So I'm not sure if people will agree with me. You can agree, disagree. I want De Rossi back. Bring Daniele De Rossi back onto my team and into my team. What if Didier comes back and nothing changes with the team and we keep going on a horrible run, then what? Well, okay, but let's say that happens. But have we changed anything with Juric? So my question to you is, okay, you might appoint De Rossi and then nothing will change, but is something changing with Juric as well? Is something changing with Juric as well? It's not. It's clearly not. So, number one, if I need to be a mediocre team with Juric or with De Rossi, I would rather be a mediocre team with De Rossi. Number two, I would rather be a mediocre team who doesn't grind results, but at least have a manager who is willing and accepting the reality that he's in and wanting to change the situation than somebody who always says, despite losing against shit teams, we played a good game. So, I agree. Okay, bringing back De Rossi doesn't mean we'll win the league. Bringing back De Rossi doesn't mean there's a risk that things won't change. But have things changed? No, they haven't. So, you know what I mean. You see what I mean? The players would much rather play under De Rossi than with Juric. I am convinced that if he comes back, things are going to change. Otherwise, things won't change. De Rossi also got a new agent indeed, who is apparently very close with Ghisolfi. So I'm not sure if that's a hint or not. We also need to remember he needs to develop his own coaching resume. Right now, he would be lucky to get a Serie B team with his resume. He may come back to salvage his coaching portfolio if asked. I read the title and I'm like, is this a joke? Roma had become a joke. At least give the new guy some time. Is this a rumor? Yes, it's a rumor. After having the Juric experience, I feel like Dovbyk will score and then they'll defend it until a 95th minute equalizer against Dynamo Kiev. You're totally right about the fan base emotions, 100%. We are empty. We needed Didier for our healing or souls. In my opinion, the season is gone at this point with or without Didier. The season is gone the second you sacked him, but it's about salvaging this season. What if bringing De Rossi back ends the same as it does now? Fans started to turn on him already before he got sacked. If he comes back and the team continues with this shit, then we break him more. I disagree, but the reason why I disagree is because I don't see how we change the situation with this manager. Again, I'm not trying to hate on this manager. I'm not trying to denigrate Juric, but you can tell when somebody is just not capable of managing a team with higher expectations. You can tell the way he moves, the way he accepts this mediocrity. So, we will not go anywhere with this manager, which is why replacing De Rossi with Juric made no sense. And to say that the decision to get Juric was made to win trophies this season is the definition of this board. What the board can do, the best thing that this board can do, is appoint De Rossi and sell the club. The best thing that this board can do, appoint De Rossi and at the same time announce that you've sold the club and leave and sink in your mistakes, because I cannot believe the decisions that they've made, and it's been 1 month. It's been more than 1 month, and I'm still trying to understand what they were thinking. And they're starting to regret everything they did, because otherwise, look, I don't know, it's a rumor. We'll see what happens. We've got a game to win on Thursday. Otherwise, our Europa League hopes or gonna collapse. But it's fair to say that these next 2 games are going to mark our future and Juric's future as well. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel. Please do hit the like. Also, if you're not watching live, if we can go on 100 likes on this video, it would be great. Subscribe to the channel. Follow Roma Theory TV on Instagram, and I'll talk to you soon. Tomorrow with the Dynamo Kiev match preview in our 3rd Europa League game. Talk to you soon. Simo out.